Big claim just dropped. Donald Trump says Hamas is gathering hostages now. The very same time, tens of thousands of Palestinians are reportedly heading back toward northern Gaza, returning to rubble, broken water lines, and neighborhoods without power. So, what's actually happening? What's verified? And what should we be looking for next? Here's the fast summary, then we'll unpack the details. Multiple outlets, including BBC, NBC News, Sky News, and CNN, are tracking two parallel storylines. First, Trump's statement that hostages are being gathered now, a signal he frames as a positive step toward releases and a deal he calls great for everyone, according to Sky's reporting. Second, a surge of civilians moving north, some to check on homes and relatives, others in search of aid, even as conditions remain dangerous. These two track stocks about hostages and on-the-ground reality don't perfectly sync. And that gap matters. Let's take the claim. According to live coverage cited above, Trump said Hamas is gathering hostages now, implying imminent transfers. As of this recording, that has not been independently verified by the outlets we're referencing. It could reflect private briefings, reading of the diplomatic tea leaves, or simply optimism. The key is verification. Do we see named lists, staging areas, neutral monitors, and actual movement? What would gathering now look like in practice? In previous exchanges, releases usually follow a sequence. Mediators like Qatar and Egypt confirm lists. Neutral monitors, or the ICRC, prepare logistics. And both sides implement timestamp steps, pause zones, safe routes, and a pre-agreed verification channel if anything goes wrong. Expect priority categories first: women, children, elderly, and medical cases before larger, more complex phases. If that's happening, we'll see it in synchronized announcements, not just a single line in a speech. Meanwhile, the ground reality in Gaza is raw. Sky News and others report tens of thousands of Palestinians moving back into northern neighborhoods, only to find heavy damage, collapsed buildings, debris-clogged streets, and limited access to clean water, food, or healthcare. NBC and CNN have repeatedly noted that even when fighting dips, conditions remain volatile and aid distribution is patchy. The return isn't a clean green light. It's a mix of necessity, hope, and risk. Aid flows are the other critical variable. Live blogs from NBC and CNN track convoys and crossing points, with periodic surges followed by lulls. If a hostage deal is truly imminent, you should see a humanitarian bump. More trucks, expanded operating hours at crossings, and safer corridors for civilians and aid workers. If you don't, that's a signal the diplomatic story and the street-level story are still out of sync. Trump's comment that the deal is great for everyone, cited by Sky News and others, is the kind of upbeat language politicians use to frame momentum. But optimism has to meet logistics. Watch for where releases would occur, who escorts civilians, and how violations get judged. Without neutral verification and a fast way to resolve disputes, even a near-ready deal can stall. Let's map today's moving pieces. The claim: Hamas gathering hostages now. Status: unverified. We need official mediator confirmation or coordinated statements from both sides. The setting: Palestinians returning to northern Gaza. Status: corroborated by multiple outlets. Conditions described as dangerous with widespread destruction. The diplomacy: Qatar, Egypt, and the US remain central to any exchange or ceasefire framework. Status: ongoing shuttle talks. Details fluid. The humanitarian lens: more aid and safer corridors would be the clearest signs that a deal is not just talked about, being implemented. Why this matters is simple and urgent. Hostages going home would reunite families. A sustained pause would let hospitals, water systems, and schools restart. For civilians on both sides, every hour counts. Protecting people must be non-negotiable. Stop genocide! That means designing any deal so civilians aren't bargaining chips sever. What could derail progress? Three things. 1. Mismatched timelines if one side expects hours and the other expects days. Tempers flare. 2. Security incidents, strike, rocket fire, or armed clash near a handover point. 3. Politics leaders facing hardliners may balk at prisoner lists, troop repositioning, or monitoring terms. That's why credible, fast verification is everything. A hotline named coordinators, and agreed responses to incidents so the entire sequence doesn't collapse over a single flashpoint. So what should you watch next in the feeds and official briefing? Named lists and staging. Do mediators confirm categories and locations for the first wave? Timestamps. Are there windows for movement? Exact days and hours rather than vague soon language? Monitors. Do we see neutral observers or ICRC presence at transfer points? Aid metrics. Are there more trucks, longer crossing hours, and wider distribution inside the north? Safety signals. Clear maps of safe corridors, fewer strikes in designated zones, and public guidance for civilians. If releases begin, you'll likely see carefully choreographed sequences, buses or ambulances moving under escort, controlled communications, and quick handoffs to medical teams. If talks stall, expect more shuttle diplomacy, leaks about sticking point, and potentially smaller interim steps like humanitarian access expansions while bigger terms get hammered out. Let's keep perspective. A headline about gathering now can ignite hope, and it should. But for people walking through destroyed streets or waiting for news of a loved one, the only updates that matter are the ones that show up in real life. Doors opening, families reunited, clinics resupplied, kids sleeping safe. Until then, treat every big claim as a maybe and look for the confirmation trail. I'll keep tracking BBC, NBC, Sky, the Daily Mail, and CNN for verified signals and bring you clear, fast summaries without the noise. If you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe to be part of my channel and help us to complete 1,000 subscribers. Drop a comment. What's the one safeguard any deal must include to protect civilians and get hostages home verification? Safe corridors or something else? Your voice matters.